The latest release was for this 9.4 FEniCS release this April. So FEniCS is one of the form compilers in FEniCS, taking variation problems and generating efficient C++ code. We have been busy this year, Christian and I and Marie, moving FFC to the new form language, UFL. And because of that, we've had to rewrite most parts of FFC, meaning that FFC is now less stable than it was before the rewrite, because most of the code is new, but we'll have a few rounds of testing and bug fixes, and then we'll be in good shape again, I think. The code, the quadrature code is now very fast, so we've changed the default representation from tensor representation to quadrature, because quadrature for most complex problems gives much faster code. But we have both quadrature and tensor representations, and then we work together with Rob on adding support for HDiv and HCOL elements in FFC. Future plans include some cleanups, support for UFC 1.1, some work on error estimation, and whatever Rob comes up with in Fiat. So he gets a new idea, and I have to implement it in FFC. Or Marie has to do it. And I guess you are expecting some new interface changes to Fiat, so there'll be some work in FFC to do that as well. So Fiat was released in 2005. Maybe you had some earlier releases of this Fiat L, right? You had an early version. The latest release was in February last year, so Fiat has remained quite stable, which is good. Recent activities include work on HDiv HCOL elements and some experimentation with new reference cells. And this will be, I guess, in the next release of Fiat, and then we'll have to make some changes to FFC. Instant is a tool for code generation from Python. So it eases the generation and wrapping with Swig of code that we generate from Python. And I guess this is, yeah, so recent work includes improved caching, locking. So we moved the caching from FFC into to Instant. And also, I guess the future plans includes a release of 1.0. I don't know if there are any planned features for Instant, which is good. So maybe one of the components in FEniCS can stabilize, and that makes life easier for all of us. Sci-Fi was released in 2007. There were earlier versions, but not as part of FEniCS. And Sci-Fi has also moved to the UFL form language, and Martin has worked heavily on the form compiler. The Sci-Fi form compiler is part of Sci-Fi. UFC is the code generation interface, the interface for the code that we generate from the form compilers. The latest release was in April this year, and we try to keep UFC fairly stable with a release maybe once a year. Because changes to UFC means we have to change it in both form compilers and in Dolphin. Recent activities include some, so Johan Hake moved part of the extension module work to UFC from the form compilers, which eases the work inside of form compilers. So we'll work towards a 2.0 release of UFC with some new features. We'll have to discuss those features in detail and implement them throughout FEniCS. UFL is the new form language that Martin has worked on for nearly 2 years. So it was released this year. The latest release was in May. So this is mainly work by Martin. And this now adds support for complex tensor expressions. So it's a much improved form language compared to the old FFC form language. It supports nonlinear forms. It supports automatic differentiation of forms, which is very nice. Garth has used this now in the Cornelia demo in Dolphin, so you don't have to manually compute the Jacobian. You can do that symbolically as part of the form language. Future plans include testing, documentation, profiling, and completing the transition throughout FEniCS. So there are a few places where we need to complete the work towards the UFL transition. Viper is the plotting tool in FEniCS that enables us to have nice runtime visualization of solutions. Then we have the applications. So FEniCS Apps was introduced last year, so this is maintained by Christian and Andy. So it's a gallery for FEniCS-based solvers applications. It's a collection of solvers, and they make sure that all these packages remain in sync with the latest Dolphin release. So they now have 3 different applications as part of FEniCS Apps. These are Dolphin Grade 2, FEniCS Plasticity, and Unicorn. Future plans include encouraging more participation. So if you have a nice application that you build on top of FEniCS, you can talk to Christian and Andy and about moving this into FEniCS Apps. It's a good way to showcase your implementation and to showcase FEniCS. Dolphin Grade 2 is Andy's model for non-Newtonian fluids. He has some different models, Stokes, Grade 2, Oldroyd B, Maxwell. This is stuff that Vidge likes to talk about. So he has all these models there, and maybe planning to add some new models as well. Future plans include updating to the current Dolphin interface, and some other stuff like finding a better name for the library. FEniCS Plasticity is Christian's and Garth's module for standard plasticity. So they have, I think, 2 different formulations, and plans include updating as well to the latest Dolphin interface. Hopefully this will be easier to keep up with the interface as the interface matures. Then we have Unicorn by the guys from Stockholm. They'll arrive here later today. Johan Hoffman, Johan Jansson, Niklas Jansson, Murtaza Nazarov. I don't know the first name of Vilela Diabroy, and Jeanette Spüler. So Unicorn is a fluid structure and fluid solver based on top of Dolphin and the other components in FEniCS. So they have a very nice feature. They use Madlib for mesh adaptation. Madlib looks very cool, and hopefully this will be part of Dolphin in the near future. Looks like the guys from KDH are arriving right now. So current and future plans include the geometry representation with NURBS, generalization of the Madlib interface, and hopefully working towards including this support for Madlib as part of Dolphin. Dolph Wave is a new project that we that Nuno Lopez is working on. So it's a shallow water solver, a Boussinesq solver. This is a simulation of waves in a harbor down in Portugal. So he might be willing to or interested in putting this into FEniCS Apps. So I expect him to give Andy and Christian a call about this. Dorsal is a meta package in FEniCS. So it is an automated build system for or an automated build script for FEniCS. So it downloads and builds all the FEniCS packages and all their dependencies. So for example, it can download PETC, SLEPC, OpenMPI and compile those for quite a few different platforms. So this is implemented by Harish and friends. And the latest release was in February 2009, but the development release, the development version, tries to track the latest Dolphin releases pretty closely. So if you want to install FEniCS, this is a good way to install FEniCS. I'm using this myself to have different builds, different versions of FEniCS on my system. So it now has support for quite a few different platforms, some Debian platforms, Fedora, Mac, 2 different distributions of Mac, OpenSUSE, Red Hat, and different Ubuntu releases.